Hi, this is Kevin Deal from Upscale Audio, and today we're going to talk about just blowing my frickin' mind with tube headphone amps. Man, I'll tell you what, I was over at the store, and these guys were laughing at me because I was listening to the Auris Audio Nirvana, which is their EL34 amp, and I stayed there for so long, and I'm so crazy and hyper, they couldn't believe it. They thought I was dead, sitting in the chair. They thought, oh, Kevin's gone. And kind of goofed on me about that. I love Auris stuff. I love the Headonia. Go look at it on the website. This company is in Serbia, and I've done a lot of business in Serbia. Back during the war, I was the only American that was legally authorized to import tubes from Ei in the former Yugoslavia. I had to go to the State Department. I had to say that I was not related to Slobodan Milosevic or whatever his name was, all this shit, because I wanted to get them tubes. In fact, this has got Ei tubes in it, but you can use all kinds. Anyway, look, man, that's a hotbed of stuff over there for great electronics. Period. End of story. And the guy that owns this company, Mickey, I love this guy because he is so enthusiastic, like I am, about electronics and the sound of products. And you can see that these things are inspired designs. For the amount of money that you're going to get, this is about a $2,500 amp. In Europe, it's 2,400 euro. And then in the States, I think it was $2,000. It was actually higher than that. It was 2,500, 2,000. And now we're going to have an unbelievable price. I don't want to even say it right here. Maybe we'll put it in the title. But let's get to what's going on in this amp, because at this price point, you will never, ever, ever, ever see an amplifier with this kind of quality and this kind of features. What do I mean by that? It has an output transformer, first off, and not only that, it has multiple taps on the transformer. So you can use this with, oh my God, hang on. I had to write it down because I couldn't remember the numbers. It has a setting for 50, 150, 300, and 600 ohm headphones. Now that is really, really exciting because you want to be able to fine tune that setting to what you think the impedance is for your headphones. But let me tell you something. Never ever assume that that is correct, because many times with headphone amps with multiple taps, I find I like a different setting than what the headphone says it is. If a headphone says it's 150 ohms, that doesn't mean that's what it is at all, because depending on frequency, man, it can swing all over the place. Do it by ear. Trust your ears. That's the way to do it. It is a bridge single-ended design. So you have a pair of EL95s in the front end. I think this one comes with the PL95s. What's the difference between this PL95 and EL95 stuff? I'll tell you. A PL95 is a 7-volt filament. An EL95 is a 6.3-volt filament. Now, many manufacturers will just set it up for one or the other, and they tell you, yeah, go ahead and just use the other one, okay? It'll be fine. But they're only settling on the amplifier being set for either 7 or 6. This is the first time that I can remember. I've never seen an amplifier that allows you to fine tune for that filament setting. That's another way that this guy is just different than everybody else. So on the back, you got a little switch for PL95 and EL95. And that is a tube that is very easy to find, very inexpensive. You can find new old stock samples of them because they're not really super commonly used, so they're not being all sucked up by people. In the center, you have a preamp tube, and it is a 12AT7. And I think that he is using, I didn't even look. I think it might be, no, it's a JJ. I should have known because it's a frame grid tube. It looks like a 60J8, but it's a 12AT7. And that's a nice 12AT7, but what we're going to do is this. You're going to get the amplifier with the regular preamp tube, but because the preamp tube is so important, and it's something that you can change and just transform the sound of the amp, I'm going to include a real Mullard 12AT7 CV 4024 tube. made for the Royal Air Force. In fact, I've got the master pack that this came out of, and it says RAF Carlisle, Cumbria. That was the name of the base that these were sent to. And I remember when I found these about 25 years ago when I found them. And it is such a bitchin' 12AT7. And the thing is, there's a lot of different choices, and they're not expensive. But the Mullard's the way to go, in my opinion. So we're going to include that with the amp because I want you folks to have fun, and I really care about your experience. The volume control is an Alps potentiometer. It has 3 sets of inputs. 2 of them are RCA. 1 of them is balanced. I saw this website. I was looking to see what people were doing and talking about this. And this website says it is a balanced headphone amp. It's a balanced design. It is not a balanced design. To make this a true balanced design would be, you'd need bunches of 2. I mean, you can look at it. It isn't possible, right? It is a single-ended design, but there ain't nothing wrong with that. So the balanced in, they're doing it nicely with some little ICs in there, not just a shorted out XLR jack, which is, or not shorted, but moving a pin on an XLR jack. I mean, that's a nice way to do it. There's no bias adjustment needed because it's cathode bias. It's got really bitchin' nice power transformer. I mean, that's the thing about it, man. It is a heavy amp, and at $2,000 or $2,500, it's a fantastic buy that sounds frickin' great. But at the price we're going to offer it to you for, it's really, really, really special. What else was I going to tell you? Oh, it has, on top of being a headphone amp, you can use this as a preamplifier. I do not know what the output impedance is, but if you're using it with well, I'll tell you what, I'm going to try to find out that number for you. Most people never do it, but if you do it, I think this will work fine with any tube power amp. And if you have a solid state power amp that's kind of a typical power amp, then with a 50,000 ohm input impedance, it's going to be absolutely fine with you. Now, what the hell is with this glass? This keeps little children's fingers out, and it is required by the European Union. However, you can just pop it right out. It just comes out and it's gone if you don't want to see it. So that's not a big deal. I don't have a problem with the glass. A couple of my employees go, oh, what's with the glass? I think it looks fine. But if you don't want it, gone. You know, you'd even put a pink glass in there, I guess. Look at your life through rose-colored glasses like I do. Single-ended in and a balanced in. And oh my God, what's it going to work with, right? Right? It's a little bit more than a 1 watt of power. The good news is because you have the adjustable taps, that really helps you to run more headphones. But I would avoid planar magnetics. I would run it with focals, Meze, Sennheiser, all the dynamic stuff, you know, pretty much all of it. But if you're looking at Susvaras, and I mean, look, you know, some of that shit's so expensive you would not buy. You might buy a much more expensive headphone amp that's going to be appropriate. But this is going to work with a lot of headphones on the market. I dig the shit out of it, and that's a great deal. I just love it when I can bring things to you. So look, I got some real tweaks in the headphone department, right? I mean, these guys love it and they live it. Give us a call. Come to our store because I took this right out of our headphone display. We've got a bitchin' display at the store that shows all the best stuff and all the best headphones. Give us a call. Talk to my salespeople. They're not on commission. None of that bullshit. At Upscale Audio, we will treat your system like it's ours. Thank you.